3 planets which might be considered as synthesizing planets, and 4 which are blended eventually, until the 3 have absorbed the essence of the 4. Finally the 1 absorbs the essence of the 3, and the work is completed. This process lies many millennia ahead, during the inevitable period of the gradual obscuration of our system. 4 of the heavenly men find their magnetic opposites, and fuse and blend. First this takes place between themselves, the negative and the positive rays merging and fusing, forming then the 2 from the 4. Again the 2 merge, producing a united whole, and the 1 thus produced blends with the major third ray, the intelligence aspect, the ray represented in our planetary hierarchy by the Mahakoan. So the fusion will proceed until ultimately unity is reached in the system, and the Son has accomplished his purpose. He is perfected love wisdom. His light shines forth cosmically. His magnetic radius touches the periphery of his cosmic opposite, and the marriage of the Son is effected. The 2 cosmic units merge. If we here naturally ask which is the cosmic unit that is our solar opposite, we shall be told that that question lies hid for the present, though it is hinted at in the secret doctrine, and in other sacred books. A hint lies concealed in the relationship of the Pleiades to our Earth, but not until a further precession of the equinoxes will it be more fully seen what is the exact relationship involved. 9996 III. Why is this solar system evolving along the lines of duality? 1. The problem of existence. The third question involves one of the most difficult problems in metaphysics, and covers in its consideration the whole perplexing mystery of the reason why there is objectivity at all. It is one that has been asked under different forms by men of every school of thought, by religious people who inquire, why did God create at all? Why is existence forced upon one and all? By scientists in their search for the ultimate truth and in their endeavor to find out the motivation of all that is seen, and to account for sensuous life. By philosophers in their equally diligent search for that animating subjectivity that is expressing itself through all the moral and ethical sciences in every civilization and among every people. By the biologist in his persistent application to search for the discovery of the source of life, and in his strenuous endeavor to account for the principle of life that is seen ever to evade his investigations. By the mathematician, who, dealing with the form side of manifestation in all the grades of mathematics, decides that God geometrizes, that law and rule pervade universally, that the one exists by means of the many, and who yet is unable to solve the problem as to who that geometrizing identity may be. So the problems persist, and all the many lines of approach, in the endeavor to find the solution, and in the cul-de-sac of hypothesis, and in the recognition of an ultimate something of such an elusive nature, that men are forced seemingly to predicate a source of energy, of life, of intelligence, and to call it by diverse names according to the trend, religious, scientific or philosophical, of their minds. God, the universal mind, energy, force, the absolute, the unknown, these terms and many others are forced from the lips of those who, by means of the form side, seek the dweller within the form, and cannot find him as yet. This failure to find him is due to the limitations of the physical brain, and to the lack of development in the mechanism whereby the spiritual may be known, and whereby he may, and eventually will, be contacted. The problem of duality is the problem of existence itself, and cannot be solved by the man who refuses to recognize the possibility of 2 occult facts. 1. That the entire solar system embodies the consciousness of an entity, who originates on planes entirely without the solar ring pass knot. 2. That manifestation is periodical, and that the law of rebirth is the method that evolution takes in dealing with the man, a planetary logos, and a solar logos. Hence, The emphasis laid in the proem of the secret doctrine on the three fundamentals, 10,097a. The boundless immutable principle and b. The periodicity of the universe. C. The identity of all souls with the oversoul. When scientists recognize these two facts, then their explanations will take a different line, and the truth, as it is, will begin to illuminate their reason. Few men are yet ready for illumination, which is simply the light of the intuition breaking through the barriers that the rational faculty has erected. The duality of the solar system will eventually be recognized as dependent upon the following factors. A. Existence itself. B. Time and space. C. The quality of desire or necessity. D. The acquisitive faculty inherent in life itself. This faculty, by the means of motion, gathers to itself the material whereby it achieves its desire, whereby it fabricates the form through which expression is sought, and whereby it confines itself within the prison of the sheath in order to gain experience. The supposition is correct that this theory takes for granted a mighty intelligence who works thus through an ordered plan, and who consciously takes shape and incarnates in order to carry out specific purposes of his own. But this hypothesis is but the rock-bottom fact underlying the Eastern teaching, and is one that is largely accepted, though diversely expressed and viewed by thinkers of all schools of thought throughout the globe. Even this conception is but a partial presentation of the real idea, but owing to the limitations of man at this stage of evolution, it is sufficient as a working basis on which he may erect his temple of truth. This entity, whom we call the solar logos, is in no sense the same as the personal God of the Christian, who is no more nor less than man himself, expanded into a being of awful power, and subject to the virtues and vices of man himself. The solar logos is more than man, for he is the sum total of all the evolutions within the entire solar system, including the human, which is an evolution standing at a middle point in relation to the other evolutions. On one side of him are ranged hosts of beings who are more than human, and who, in past kalpas, reach and pass the stage where man now is. On the other side are hosts of the subhuman evolutions, who in future kalpas will achieve the stage of humanity. Man stands midway between the two, and is at the point of balance. Herein lies his problem. He does not partake wholly of the material side of evolution, nor is he wholly the expression of the third logos, the Brahmi aspect of the deity, who is an expression of pure energy, or intelligence, motivating that tenuous something which we call substance. He is not wholly spirit, the expression of the first logos, the Mahadvi aspect, which is an expression of pure will or necessitous desire, impelling to manifestation. It is the fundamental motive itself, or the great will to be. Man is a product of the union of the two. He is the meeting place of matter or active intelligent substance, and of spirit or the basic will. He is the child born of their marriage or at one ment. He assumes objectivity in order to express that which is in each of the two opposites, plus the result of their merging in himself. 2. Its nature and duality. In terms of quality, what have we? Active intelligence at one with will or power produces that son of necessity, 101 SD, I, 74.98, as HPB expresses it, who embodies intelligence, will or desire, and their united latent demonstration, love wisdom. In terms of fire, how might we express an analogous thought? The fire latent in matter itself, a product of an earlier manifestation of the same cosmic identity, or the relatively perfected quality worked out by him in a previous cosmic incarnation, is set in motion again by the desire of that same identity to circle once more the wheel of rebirth. That fire by friction produces heat and radiation and calls forth a reaction from its opposite, electric fire, or spirit. Here we have the thought of the ray striking through matter, for the action of electric fire is ever forward, as earlier suggested. The one ray, electric fire, drops into matter. This is the systemic marriage of the father and the mother. The result is the blending of these two fires, and their united production of that expression of fire, which we call solar fire. Thus is produced the sun. Active intelligence and will are united, and love wisdom, when perfected through evolution, will be the outcome. Electric fire or spirit, united to fire by friction, heat, produces solar fire or light. Hence, when the cosmic entity takes form, there is added to the active intelligence which is the product of his earlier incarnation, a further quality, which is inherent and potential, that of love wisdom. This is the ability to love that which is objective or the not-self, and ultimately to use with wisdom the form. Pure will is as yet an abstraction, and will only be brought into full development in another incarnation of the Logos. Mind or intelligence is not an abstraction. It is something that is. Neither is love wisdom an abstraction. It is in process of development or bringing into manifestation, and is the aspect of the sun. What is above stated is in no way new, but these thoughts on essential duality are gathered together in order to convey to our minds the necessity of viewing these things from the standpoint of their place in the cosmic scheme, and not from the point of view of our own planetary evolution and of man himself. Humanity is that evolution through which the sun aspect is to express itself most perfectly in this cosmic incarnation. Man blends the pairs of opposites, and the three fires meet in him. He is the best expression of the monastic principle and might be considered, from one very interesting standpoint, the shader of Brahma. He is the sheath for the life of God. He is the individualized consciousness of the Logos, manifesting through the 7 divine Manasaputras, or heavenly men, in whose bodies each unit of the human family finds place. He is the Vishnu aspect in process of development through the intelligence of Brahma, impelled by the will of Mahadeva. Therefore, in a peculiar sense man is very important, as he is the place of at one meant for all the three aspects. Nevertheless, he is very unimportant, for he is not the apex of the triangle, but simply the middle point, if we view the triangle thus. Spirit Father. The Son or Man. Matter Mother. The evolution of the Son, or the cosmic incarnation of the Christ, is of immense importance in the plans of the being greater than the solar Logos, he about whom naught may be said. The animating principles of allied constellations and systems watch the progress of the evolution of the Sun with keenest attention. Just as the planet called the Earth is regarded as the turning point, or the battleground between spirit and matter, and is therefore, from that very consideration, of great importance, so our solar system holds an analogous place in the cosmic scheme. The cosmic man, the solar Arjuna, is wrestling for his individualized, perfected self-consciousness, and for freedom and liberation from the form, and from the not-self. So man on this planet battles for similar ideals on his tiny scale. So battle in heaven Michael and his angels, or the divine heavenly men, whose problem is the same on the higher scale. Duality, and the interplay between the two produces a